On this episode of Beyond Dafeet, we're taking our first run in the Saucony Kinvara 11. Yesterday morning did our first 5k run in this. Nothing too kind of long as of yet, just wearing the shoe in. Plus just the legs were a bit cramped up from the prior day's training. Especially running with that 4mm drop does activate the calves a bit more. I did do about 200 k's in the Kinvara 10. Use it for the sunny coast half Ironman. It's that nice lightweight, not a whole lot of rubber, still enough cushioning for how lightweight it is. I did like running in the 11, so they have updated quite a few things in this, but we'll get into that a slightly bit later. What I felt was that I was landing a bit more underneath my body, so the cadence was definitely higher. With that 4mm drop, that's kind of what you want to achieve, so it gets the legs ticking over a bit quicker, especially with how lightweight this is. And you're just not landing on that heel, or you shouldn't be, just with how low of a drop this is. So they have used a new midsole on this, so they've taken out the power foam and replaced it with PWRRun. And they have actually upped the stack height as well from the old one. The feels of this, I did actually go up to a half size bigger, so I took a 11.5 in the old one. This I am running with that 12. So the upper is fitting that slightly bit different, slightly bit more tapered, and just a bit more deeper than the 10s. With how the run went, very energized underneath the foot, so you actually feel like you don't sink into the shoe too much. That's kind of what it's built for. If you want that kind of plush, lightweight shoe, try something else, not this. This is just that more energized, gets you kind of running a bit fast, so you've got good snap back to it. Once it's kind of embedded in, you will be able to run that bit slower, but with that 4mm drop coming in that 221 grams, this is a very lightweight, fast shoe. You can easily do kind of up to a half marathon in this. If you are looking to do that kind of full marathon, you wouldn't really want to do anything over 3 hours and 10 minutes. Since it does have quite a low stack height compared to other things on the market, this is kind of that good half marathon shoe, plus a great lightweight daily trainer. As far as the feel of this shoe goes, it actually felt quite great. I did like the different change of the upper, so as I said, it is a slightly bit more tapered than that 10, and it is a slightly bit deeper. Upper feels great, does definitely lock you down over the midfoot, so that I felt they did shallow it out through that midfoot section, and it just hugs that foot a bit better. A lot of people have been saying that they increased that heel cup, but I didn't really notice it at all. There's no kind of irritation there. The heel count is still basically the same height. They just have added a slightly bit more foam there, but the actual heel counter itself is the same height. Outsole basically remain the exact same. They've got the exact same XT900 in your landing zone at your heel, plus at your toe off. Same mold underneath the foot. The midsole is where they've changed the most. So they have added, I think it was about 4.5 mils of stack height at the heel, as well as your forefoot. So you're running with a 28.5 mil to a 24.5 mil drop. So that's 4 mil offset. So it actually is the exact same weight as a 10, but they actually have increased the stack height. So actually more cushioning for the exact same weight of the shoe. So with that new PWRRun, obviously made it a bit lighter. I'm not sure if it's the same kind of metrics as that PWRRun Plus, making it 25% lighter, but this does have more cushioning for the exact same weight as the old one. Very energized. This, pretty sure it's got that EVA as well as TPU, so it is mixed in, so it shouldn't deteriorate as quickly as that power foam. It did feel quite similar compared to the 10. And with the top sole, so with your Sauconys, they do have a soft liner. so inner sole, and they do have a top sole as well. So the top sole has changed from that PWRRun to a PWRRun Plus. So they have taken that cushioning that the Triumph and the Hurricane uses and just put it that top sole, so the initial cushioning of the shoe just doesn't deteriorate over the life of the shoe, and you just get that kind of nice feeling whenever you put that shoe on, and that top sole does, yeah, make for a good cushioning system coupled with that PWRRun. 5Ks doesn't tell you too much. I will definitely kind of do that 18-20Ks in these in the next few weeks, and probably have that 100K review coming out quite shortly. But initial runs, not a whole lot of difference. The upper definitely fits better, fits a bit more kind of like that Kinvara 8 as well was Kinvara 9, so I did take a US 12 in both those shoes and had to go down to that 11.5 in the 10. More of a runner's fit, so they still incorporate that attached tongue as well, so you get that lace loop there plus the attached tongue. It's not going to slip down to that lateral side if you do have a bit more of a flexible foot. I probably shouldn't really be running in this, but I have been loving the 8s, the 9s and the 10s as well as the 11s. So the first run in this was a good run. Just felt quite hard to slow down just with how much energy return you do get out of that midsole, but be interesting to see how this holds up. I probably get about 600 Ks out of this. So this is kind of that good lightweight trainer. Kinvara has been out for 11 years now. A lot of YouTubers love this. Ginger Runner's kind of the bloke that's ran in the Kinvara 1 and all the way up to the 11, but old mate there just keeps comparing it to like some of his good memories. So like I can guarantee if you chuck this Kinvara 11 compared to like Kinvara 5 on your foot, you're going to choose this any day of the week, even to like a Kinvara 8. They have come leaps and bounds. This actually fits quite well. I've dialed it in quite nicely. The PWRRun's actually a good cushioning system, and the upper, I felt it actually quite breathable. It was a bloody hot morning yesterday, like I was sweating bullets, and this actually was very breathable. So I probably will rotate this with the 1080 I've got at the moment. Very similar kind of shoe that New Balance does in the Beacon. We'll probably have a comparisons video out on that as well. This actually does wear very well underneath that midfoot, so even though it's got a lot of exposed foam there and not a whole lot of rubber, this actually does hold up quite well, so you shouldn't really see any kind of wear over the first 200 Ks. So just do a quick comparisons between the 10 and the 11. It's not a whole lot of difference, but we'll touch on a few things. So the outsole, basically the exact same place for as far as the XT900 is placed, so that is a high abrasive carbon rubber, and it's just in that landing zone as well as the toe off. So yeah, you kind of experience a bit more wear on that toe off there, so they just did put that rubber there, so it limitates that. Basically the exact same mold as far as the outsoles go when it comes to the compression. Main difference is basically from your midsoles, so they did use that power foam as well as the PWRRRun, so you got that power foam midsole and the PWRRRun top sole, and now it's that PWRRRRun midsole as well as a PWRRRRun Plus top sole, plus that stack height. So this did run with a 23mm to a 19mm, so 4mm still. Now this runs with a 28.5 to a 24.5, so higher stack height, still the same weight, so it is actually a more cushioned shoe. Well, you do have more midsole underneath your foot compared to the 10s, and still that 221 grams, so both of them weigh the exact same, but you do have more cushioning underneath the foot. With the cushioning as well, this isn't supposed to be that kind of plush, or like sink your foot into it and oh this is great. If you want something like that, your Freedom or your Triumph by Saucony are definitely your ones to go to. So they use that PWRRRun Plus midsole the whole way through, and they are that kind of plush feel. Whereas this PWRRRun, they'll use it in the Ride 13 as well as they're using it in the Guide 13 as well. So it's just that more energized cushioning system. So that PWRRRun Plus top sole, it's that nice plush initial feel, but the actual PWRRRun itself is more of that kind of firm, energized cushioning system. If you do want your tempo runs, your Kinvara 11 will work great for that. And just with how lightweight it is for the amount of cushioning you actually have underneath your forefoot, is actually a good cushioning system. But yeah, you're not going to experience that kind of plush sink into the shoe at all. Uppers, they have changed quite a bit, especially with how the fit goes. So I did feel like this was quite a round fit and a slightly bit broader. And with the 11s, they have slightly lengthened it, made it a bit deeper and a bit tapered. So fits a bit better, fits truer to size. Most people did take a half size down in the 10s. I did myself, so I went to 11.5. With the Kinvara 11, back of that size 12. Fits better. I found this a bit more breathable. The upper on this, they were kind of trying to do that homage and take it back to the original Kinvara, so they were trying to work with that and make it kind of updated as far as that goes. With your 11s, very breathable, a bit more shallower through that midfoot area, whereas the Kinvara 10s were a bit deeper. And heel counters, basically the same height. They have heightened the 11s, but it's basically just slightly more cushioning on that Achilles, I didn't really notice it at all myself. One thing I did notice that the lacing on the Kinvara 11 is quite a bit shorter. Generally lock lace all my shoes, and this does come out a slightly bit shorter, and they do have a bit more molding over that midfoot area, slightly close to your shin. I think that's kind of just a bit excessive, but yeah, the lacing was a bit shorter, couldn't really get that firm lockdown over that. Once that lacing upper kind of softens up, you'll probably end up getting a bit more lacing to use. If you're looking for that light, energized trainer, don't want to spend a fortune. This coming in at, I think it's $190. It's going up to $200 Australian next season. But it is great, lightweight, just a decent shoe, no kind of faults in it, very simplistic. Saucony don't really change this too much, just trying to change the imperfections that were in the 10. Yeah, after that lightweight daily trainer, pick this up, you'll be happy with it. Nice and breathable, very versatile. You can do a lot of training when it comes to just this shoe. If you want us to do any comparisons on this, we'll probably compare it to something like the New Balance Beacon version 2 as well as the Hoka Rincon, so very similar shoes, just by 2 different brands. They'll be coming up shortly. Got any questions about the Kinvara or any other shoes, let us know in the comments, hit that subscribe, all that YouTube jargon, and we'll see you later. Peace.